Hey everyone, Sean Clement here. Just got back home after a busy day at the Canadian Open. And congratulations to Jonathan Vegas for defending his title. We saw him play there last year, and it was a completely different golf course. And as the week went on, you know, we got some nice weather. We got 3 nice days in a row. Can you imagine that? Finally, summer's here. And the course got faster and faster as we went along, and you could see, man, they were bombing it today. It was unbelievable. So what I want to partake today is sharpening your focus and really sharpening your shots and making your shots much more precise through the art of prediction. And we have the big 4 that we're discussing today, okay? So you remember we talked about in one of my previous videos, the title is called Predict Perfect Contact, Sean Clement. And we talked about how, well, when you throw the club in the direction that you want the ball to go. So let's say we have a direction here. I'm going to use an intermediate point, and I'm going toward that flag that you see right there behind the net. So I'm going, okay, I'm going to throw the club in that direction. If I do, I'm going to miss. And then I go down. If I do, I'm going to top. So from here, if I go ahead and throw it, I predicted I was going to miss the ball, and I did, and I'll go down a little bit lower. Remember last time I topped it over to the neighbor's yard? I won't do that. And then I go lower again. I feel like I'm going to cut grass if I throw it out there. And then finally, a little too low, it feels like I'm going to dig too much. So right about here is where I need to be if I'm going to throw it nicely in that direction. There are 3 other dimensions to your prediction. The next one I want to talk about is your distance to ball. Well, if I reach too much, it feels like when I throw the club over there, there's no way I'm going to be able to hit the ball. And if I'm too close, I can't throw it out there. The right distance will allow me to feel like I can throw it there and hit the ball solid. If my ball position isn't correct, well, if I play the ball too far forward, it feels like I have to lunge to go put it on that flag over that intermediate point. If I play too far back, I have to reach back to go there. But right here, it feels like when I let it swing freely, which is basically my fade position, the ball just slightly forward to center, it feels like the ball wants to go in that direction. So that takes care of my ball position. And so finally, the club face. If I close the face too much, it feels like the ball's going to hook away from the target. If I open the face too much, it feels like the ball's going to start right and never come back. And if it's just closed enough, at least I know I can start it in that direction. But we need to go a little further than that. We need to know if we're going to fade or draw the ball. Now, I've got an incredibly important video coming your way that is entitled, something along the lines of, you have to hit curves if you want to get through the ball, if you want more powerful shots, if you want more accurate shots, you need to curve the ball, okay? So I'll save that for the next video. Now let's say I want it to hit a little fade. So to fade the ball, because the golf swing is an arc, it is angular momentum. So if I was kicking a soccer ball, let's do a little review here, and I wanted to make it curve to the left, this is how I would be kicking. The angle of my foot's going left, and the angle of my kick is going to the right, creating a counterclockwise spin. And if I wanted to kick it the other direction, I'm going to use the outside of my foot, which is aimed that way, and I'm kicking to the left, which creates a clockwise spin out to the right. So if I'm playing a fade, because the center of my stance, the center of my sternal notch, that represents the center of the circle. If I only had one arm, the center of that circle is my right shoulder socket. When I bring both arms together to take my grip, the center of my circle is now the sternal notch where the 2 clavicles join the rib cage. And therefore, from sternal notch rearward, the club is coming from the inside, therefore swinging out to the right. So if I line up straight over, play the ball back, get behind the ball, now it feels like I can start the ball to the right edge of that intermediate point because the ball's back of center. And if I stay with that, notice how the ball starts to the right of my flag. If I wanted to fade the ball, I would play the ball slightly forward of center so that the club catches the ball as my swing is moving to the left after center. I'll play a little bit to the left with my alignment. Why? I don't want to start on target, fade away from the target. Basically, when you close the face a little less, my draw grip would be here. I'm collecting the ball slightly open, releasing the ball slightly closed, because we're going through the ball, we're not going at it. And my fade is slightly less closed at address. It still looks closed. However, dynamically, the club face is open when it's collecting the ball and slightly open when the ball's coming off the club. So because it's slightly open when the ball's coming off the club, it tends to move the ball immediately a little to the right. So I don't want to start on target, fade away from the target. I want to start left of the target and fade back to the target. So I'm going to line up left edge, play the ball a hair forward to center, and close the face less. Now it feels like my prediction. Yeah, no, that doesn't feel like I can swing in that direction, hit the ball solid. Can't swing in that direction. Yes, I've got. Now, ball position. I'd have to lunge to keep it to the left edge. If I don't, it's going to go way too far left. I'll have to reach back to get it started to left edge. If I don't, it's going to go right. But right here, it feels like I can stay to the left edge. My club face allows it to stay left edge and fade. That won't fade. That's going to start right and fade too much. Right there, it feels like it's going to fade a little bit, and the ball's going to start to the left of the intermediate point. So now, I miss if I throw there. I top if I throw there. I'm going to secure a nice contact. There we go, nice contact. This is thin. That's nice contact. So I've got my club face, my ball position, my distance to ball, and the height. So now, all I got to do is throw it in that direction. Well, what's that going to feel like? Oh, yeah, it feels about like, there we go. So, hit it solid. Start it in the direction I wanted to. It felt a little fadey. So, notice how, as I run through my predictions, the picture becomes more and more clear. And here's what happens to many of you. You get set up to hit a shot. And most of you, unfortunately, are setting up to hit a straight shot, which is the biggest mistake you can make. So let's say you set up to hit your fade and everything seems to be in order, but then you're worried about contact with the ball. Or you're worried that the ball's not going to start in the proper direction as far as your direction is concerned. So because, let's say, the face is a little too open and you're trying to go in that direction, but you feel like you're going to lose it to the right, now you have to make an effort. You can no longer go through the ball. If you're worried about contact, you're going to manipulate the club to meet the ball, and you can no longer throw the club in the direction that you want to start the ball. You can't deliver your swing towards the target or the beginning of the flight of the ball. So it's extremely important to go through this prediction process and clear the air and make things sharp so that now you feel like, hey, all I got to do is deliver the energy of my swing in the direction I want to start the ball, and I know in my gut that I'm going to hit it solid. And when I step over my shot, that is exactly what it feels like. So out of the 36 full swings I'm going to have when I go play my next round, 36 of those will have a flight plan. And 36 of those will have a setup that allows me to deliver into that flight plan, and it'll be fully predicted. And then finally, all I have to do is deliver the quality of feel, the precision of feel that I want to deliver in there. So if I'm cutting dandelion stems and I'm between clubs, between a 7 and an 8 iron, and I'm going to hit a nice smooth 7 iron, so I'm just basically going to cut through my dandelion stem with a little more softness. So ball position, check. Distance to ball, check. Club face, check. Low enough to catch the ball solid, check. So everything feels like it's in order. I'm going to feel a soft 7-iron through that dandelion stem that way. It's that way, it's that way, and it's that way. And that felt amazing. So why, since we have the ability to do that, practice this when you're on the driving range. It's much better to hit 25 shots with attention and intention than to hit 100 mindlessly. Okay, it's not doing you any favors. So I'm going to do my draw now. Line up there, ball back, get behind the ball. Yes, it feels like I can start it to the right edge of that intermediate point. Yes, it feels like it's going to draw back. The club face feels closed enough. Yes, that ball position will allow me to start in that direction. It can't, absolutely, right on the money. And it feels like I don't have to reach for it. It feels like my distance to ball is extremely sound. So now all I see is my dandelion stem in my mind, and I'm feeling a nice assertive. So 3 out of 10 in effort, 7 out of 10 in velocity, full velocity on the 7-iron in the direction that is right edge of that intermediate point. Oh, man. Boom. So I just executed 2 very specific shots with 2 very distinct sensations, and I was in the shot the whole time from beginning to end. Confirmed. Okay? This is how we play golf, you guys. All right? Please comment below. If you need any help, we do online, Skype sessions. So I found that the Skype sessions have been way more beneficial because we get to chat together and I get to go into your head and figure out what's going on in your mind and see where your preoccupations are and be able to, settle those and get you pointed in the correct direction. And of course, the best thing to do is to come and see me direct here in Toronto. We're at the YYZ airport code. We're about 25 minutes from the airport. And because the Canadian dollar is very favorable these days, you guys get to get some amazing private instruction at very affordable rates. Check out www.rhgolflearningcenter.com or see the link on www.wisdomingolf.com. All the best, you guys. And come on, subscribe already if you haven't done so. All the best.